She said, "Stop acting like we're married. You don't get a say in where I go or who I'm with." Everyone laughed. I just smiled and stayed quiet. But when she came back from her weekend away, her tea didn't work, and the neighbor told her exactly why. My girlfriend Jessica and I have very different ideas about what living together means. I figure if you share a home, meals, and Wi-Fi, you're partners. Jessica thinks she's some celestial body, and I'm a tiny planet orbiting her radiant self. We've been together for 2 years, and for the last 6 months, she's been living in my house. My name is on the mortgage, my name is on the bills, and my name even appears on the little plaque by the front door that says the Wilsons, a plaque she bought herself without asking. Ambitious, yes, but wildly premature. I'm an easygoing guy. I like quiet nights. I work from home as a graphic designer. My idea of a wild Friday night is trying a new frozen pizza brand. Jessica isn't like that. Her life is always a performance, and the audience is her three best friends, a Greek chorus of cackling, judgmental harpies, Tiffany, Brittany, and Chardonnay, as I call her privately. The problem began last weekend. I was in the kitchen stirring pasta sauce when Jessica waltzed in, phone pressed to her ear, dressed for an outing. She was mid-sentence with the harpies. "Oh my God, yes, I am so in," she said, practically skipping. "A weekend away is exactly what I need." She paused, rolled her eyes at me, and added, "No, he's not coming." "Don't be ridiculous." Then she hung up and smiled at me. "Good news. The girls and I are going to the lake this weekend, leaving tomorrow." This was news to me. I nodded, stirred the sauce. "Which lake are you all heading to?" I asked, a simple, logistical question. Jessica looked at me like I'd asked her to translate Sanskrit while juggling flaming swords. She laughed, turned to Tiffany, who had just entered, and said, exasperated, "Can you believe him? He wants to know where I'm going." Tiffany gave me a disdainful glance, as if I were furniture in need of disposal. Jessica spun back to me and delivered the line that would define my weekend. "Stop acting like we're married. You don't get a say in where I go or who I'm with." The harpies erupted in laughter. I held a wooden spoon, sauce dripping, and felt an unusual calm wash over me. The part of my brain still trying to make this work quietly left the building. I smiled at her. Big, friendly, entirely empty. "You're right," I said cheerfully. "My mistake." They laughed again, thinking I'd cowered. Jessica patted my cheek and left with her entourage. Alone, I looked at the bubbling pasta sauce, and a plan began to take shape. Not married, no say, understood. This weekend would be memorable, but not for her. Friday afternoon, as Jessica's car disappeared with what I can only assume was 5 types of glitter and a case of rosé, I sprang into action. My first move wasn't cleaning or packing, it was strategic. I walked next door to Mrs. Gable's house. Mrs. Gable is an 80-year-old widow with a killer rose garden and a surveillance network rivaling the CIA. Nothing happens on our street without her knowing. I brought her a slice of lemon cake and told her what had happened, word for word. Her eyes lit up. She loves drama as much as she loves roses. The plan was simple. When Jessica returned, she would find herself locked out and disoriented, guided by Mrs. Gable's performance. Mrs. Gable enthusiastically agreed, patting my hand and muttering, "That shameless little hussy. Don't worry, Tom. Leave it to me." Back home, I began Operation Bachelor Pad Resurrection. For 6 months, my house had been overrun with beige pillows, pointless bowls, and half-hearted art. Now, every trace of her existence was being carefully curated and packed. Everyday clothes, fancy clothes, glittery party dresses, 37 identical high heels, makeup and skincare products, all boxed and labeled for posterity. By Saturday morning, it was gone, moved to a 10 by 5 storage unit I'd rented for a month, my generous non-marital gesture. Next came the fun. I redecorated. Beige rugs rolled up, replaced with an AstroTurf rug that looked like a football field. White couch sold, replaced with a massive black leather recliner sofa with 16 cup holders. Coffee table? Gone. Pinball machine? Purchased, lights working, mechanics not. Bedroom decorations swapped for a framed grizzly bear catching a salmon mid-leap. Then the pièce de résistance, a 120-pound St. Bernard named Gus. drooling, affectionate, and immediately claiming the leather sofa as his throne. My home was transformed, no longer a showroom for minimalism, now a fortress of unapologetic bachelorhood. I spent the weekend drinking beer, playing fetch, and changing all the Wi-Fi passwords. The network was now get your own Wi-Fi with the password not married lol. Sunday evening around 9 p.m., the doorbell rang. Jessica, sun-kissed from the lake, tried to enter. The new deadbolt, installed that morning, foiled her. She banged on the door, called my phone repeatedly, all ignored. Gus lifted his head, gave a warning woof, and returned to his nap. Jessica's frustration grew. She paced, fumed, and eventually noticed a porch light flicker next door. Mrs. Gable appeared, house coat, watering can in hand, ready for her role. "Oh, Jessica, dear, is that you?" she called, perfectly balancing shock and neighborly concern. Jessica, desperate, rushed over. "Mrs. Gable, my key isn't working. Is Tom home?" "Tom's home," Mrs. Gable said, nodding sagely. "He's had a transformative weekend, a real change." "Transformation? What do you mean?" "Well, he told me you're not married. He said he doesn't get a say, so he celebrated his freedom. He redecorated the house, made it rugged and masculine." Jessica gawked, and, Mrs. Gable added, barely containing her excitement, "he got a dog, a loyal, beautiful boy named Gus. He wanted a companion who wouldn't talk back. Isn't that sweet?" Jessica's expression was priceless, mouth open, eyes wide. She peered through my window and saw the football field rug, the pinball machine, and Gus sprawled on the recliner. She screamed, cried, and frantically texted me. I replied once, "You said I don't get a say." "I agree. This is my house. Your non-marital property is in storage. 123 Storage Way, Unit 42. Code 1234, 1 month. Enjoy life." Then I blocked her number. Doorbell footage showed her rage, her phone thrown onto the lawn, a spectacular meltdown. Tiffany arrived to retrieve her, and that ended Jessica's weekend. The social media fallout was predictable. Vague posts about betrayal, toxic men, and personal empowerment. I let it go for 2 days, then added context on a private social media page visible to mutual friends, a before and after photo album. Before, my sad beige living room. After, the leather sofa, football rug, pinball machine, Gus majestically sprawled. Caption: decided to redecorate based on new relationship status. Not married, no say, embracing freedom. The post spread quickly. Sympathy for Jessica evaporated. People saw the truth. Boyfriend did exactly what she suggested, agreeing fully with her logic. Her victim narrative crumbled. Jessica's friends eventually faded. She crashed with Tiffany, then returned to her parents' town. She tried legal action, claiming wrongful eviction and financial compensation. My lawyer responded with a polite note: mortgage and lease in my name, plus an invoice for 6 months of rent, utilities, and food. Never heard from them again. A month later, I was at the dog park with Gus. Chardonnay, the third harpy, approached me awkwardly. "Hey, Tom, I just wanted to say we were out of line that night." I shrugged. "Yeah, I know," I said. Gus, trying to fit 3 tennis balls in his mouth, interrupted only slightly. She sighed. "Honestly, looks like you're doing just fine." And she was right. I am. The house is no longer a beige prison. The pinball machine may not work, but it's a conversation piece. Gus is the perfect roommate, loyal, amusing, never complains about my cooking. Sometimes the best revenge is simply listening to people. Jessica told me exactly who she was. I agreed. I let her define our relationship. Now she has nothing in my life. I have nothing of hers, and I have a giant drooling dog. That I call a happy ending.